So I had the privilege the other day of going to my sister's secondary school. And what dawned on me when I was at the school was one of the most important realizations about life that I think everyone should take into account. Because it's such a funny thing that it's at school, right? You know, high school. So, like, what can be a life lesson realization moment there? But it's so interesting because you're going to see what I'm talking about. So, going to the school was a nostalgic thing for me because I went to the same school. I kind of had the same teachers as her. So when I was at the school, I was walking around, they're talking about their options evening, discussing what they want to do about the future, right? I started to see some familiar faces, and these are some teachers that taught me when I was young. And I got to the teachers and I say, hi, how are you doing? And they'll shake my hand like I met my geography teacher there, and he'll shake my hand. He's like, oh yeah, how are you? What are you doing now, right? And then he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, what's your name again? Like, I don't quite remember your name. And then that happened once, and then I saw another history teacher that taught me. I said, hi, sir, how are you doing? How's it going? How's things? Whatever. And he's like, your face looks familiar, but I'm sorry. So I teach so many kids. What's your name again? Sorry, I don't want to be rude, but what's your name again? I said, sir, my name's Gerald. You taught me in history and religious education. And it was so funny, like each time I was meeting the teachers that taught me at school, I had a realization that one, they don't really remember who I am, but two, most of all, when I was at school, they had a big influence in how I was making decisions about my life. Like teachers have the biggest impact on some of the decisions that you're making when it comes to career choice or like things that you want to do sometimes when it actually comes to like making career decisions. And it just made me realize that no one actually cares. And it's such a funny thing, like for me to go to school and have that realization moment. It's not like something that we all don't know, right? But it's like no one actually cares what you do, because in that moment, right, those teachers back then had a big influence in like how I behaved or the decisions I made, right? But then life goes by, time passes, they moved on to other things, like. But in that moment, for me, the decisions I was making were so important and were so big for me. But realizing that no one actually cares is sort of freeing, because sometimes we make decisions based on other people's opinions, or we make decisions based on the importance we place on ourselves. And it's like, fuck that. Like, I think we should make decisions for ourselves. I'm so glad that I came to my own senses and I decided to go down the path that I wanted to go down. Because imagine making a decision based on someone else's thoughts and opinion, for them to not even realize who you are, for them to never recognize who you are. And it's such a funny cliche thing, because it just goes to show that everyone is just living their life. Like, sometimes I think we place so much importance on ourselves that we think everyone is watching us, and we think we should make decisions to try to please other people, right? But it's like, everyone's just living their life, bro. Like, everyone's just doing their own thing. No one is busy focusing on the next 10, 20 years of your life. It's like, okay, yes, they might influence a particular decision in the moment for yourself, but it's like, they're not going to remember you. They don't care. They've got their own life to live. They've got their own problems to live. They've got their own problems to go through, to solve. They're going through their own reality. They're experiencing life in their own way. So it's like, experience life for you. And it was just like a crazy realization for me, because it's like, these teachers were once such an important part of my life. It doesn't matter what other people think at the end of the day. And I'm not telling you to go rob a fucking bank or like go do something crazy. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, like, make decisions for you. Do what's best for you. The decisions sometimes that you make thinking that you're pleasing other people, you're doing it for the sake of other people. 9 times out of 10, those people actually don't care. So you might as well do what's best for you, right? And it's so funny because this just doesn't apply to like teachers in school, right? It applies to everyone around us, and it applies to the way we make decisions in our lives. Think about how many times you've decided not to do something or decided not to pursue something because you thought someone else would think negatively of you, or you held someone else's opinion higher than the action of doing something, so you didn't do the thing. You altered your life path because of someone else who actually is just experiencing their life in their own way, who doesn't even care to realize the impact that they're having on your decisions. You know what I'm trying to say? Of course, families have the best interests at heart. Of course, people around us, friends, want the best of us, right? For us, right? But it's like, do what's best for you, because everyone is living their own life. And it doesn't matter what anyone else says, as long as you put yourself first and as long as you put your decisions first, because no one actually cares. And I don't want you to take that in like a negative way, or to look at it in a negative way as like, okay, because no one cares, that doesn't mean I'm not important, right? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying no one cares to free off the burden of having to make life altering decisions or life changing decisions based on other people. The realization that no one cares should free you of those burdens and should liberate you in a way where you can actually live life on your terms, where you can actually live life the way you want to live, because at the end of the day, no one cares. So yeah, it was just a funny thing when I was at school, and it was just like a funny realization that I had when I was there. Just do you, live your own life, live life on your own terms, live in alignment with yourself, figure out your purpose, think about what you want for your life, what is in alignment within your life, and then do everything to be in alignment with that purpose every day to get closer to those goals and ambitions, right? Because no one actually cares. Stop thinking that other people, you know, have a great deal of decision making importance in your life. Make decisions for you, and you will be far more satisfied with the decisions that you make, regardless of the consequences or regardless of the outcome of the decisions, because it's a decision that you made for you. And I don't say that to say go do bad things. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that no one actually cares.